Welcome back, Module 3. So this is getting into some really fun stuff. This video and the next one are some of my favorites. We're going to start off with the smile. So what is important about smiling? So I can't stop smiling when I think about this. And it's really important to me because if you've been reading the book, the manual, as you're supposed to be doing, you'll know that I've shared some of my own personal story. And basically the inspiration for this entire program was back in 2004 when I went through an incredibly difficult, painful year that involved the suicide of a client of mine. It involved Hurricane Ivan and the loss of being able to live in our home while it was being rebuilt. And also a very bad knee and back injury that triggered a post-traumatic stress reaction I had from my childhood surgeries. And what happened was I literally lost my smile. I had been someone typically who had a pretty, easygoing nature and smiled pretty normally and naturally. They used to call me Smiles in high school because I didn't say much. I was painfully shy, but I usually had a smile on my face most of the time. But not so in 2004. I went through months without smiling. And I found that it was really interesting. People say things like, you smile at the world and it smiles back. Well, it's really true. And I will never forget going into a store and people will kind of frown at me or look at me and kind of step back. And I was like, well, am I wearing something bad? Do I smell? Maybe I did, I don't know. But what I realized was they were mirroring back to me the frown. I had kind of I wasn't smiling, but I was frowning. I was frowning at the world. I was so lost in all of this negative self-talk and self-contempt and self-hate even, that I was wearing this permanent frown and my, the furrow up here in my brow. And what I realized was that I had lost my smile. It was actually as a result of going to a music improvisation training with my dear friend David Darling. And that's actually how I really learned. I'm indebted to David Darling for teaching me about the release into the now. So let's do that together, just breathing in and releasing. And what we were adding to that was, as you breathe in, to really smile. So I want you to smile with me. So we're going to breathe in, smile, and then release. Children smile on average 300 to 400 times a day. 300 to 400 times a day. Most adults smile about 12 to 15 times a day. That's pretty extraordinary. To me, that's 90% of why we're depressed and angry and upset as adults. And we don't even realize we're not smiling. But children are naturally in their hearts. Their minds tend to be very naturally quiet. And they really come alive through their smile. There's an old saying that a smile is like lighting a candle in the window of the heart, telling you that the heart is at home. And I really love that because it is like a feeling of lighting up inside when we smile. Now, there's something really important here. The research actually has explored what we call a genuine smile versus an ingenuine smile. And what is that? Well, this is an important part because as adults, sometimes we'll smile because we're just being polite. And an inauthentic or ingenuine smile only involves the muscles in the mouth. That actually there's entire muscles around the eye that are involved when we're genuinely smiling. In fact, I always like to say, smile not just with your mouth, but with your eyes. And not just with your eyes, but with your heart. And in yoga, we talk about the third eye, which is in the forehead. So allow your forehead to smile, allow your heart to smile, let your eyes smile when you smile. So literally, you can see a genuine smile or not. In fact, studies people actually be able to, in terms of people researching, like jurors on a jury, they'll actually notice, are the oculi muscles smiling as well? Because if you're just being polite and, somebody is ask you, something, it's like, Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you very much. That's an genuine smile versus the person who's, hi, how are you? They're smiling with their eyes and their mouth. So I actually suggest to people to practice a genuine smile. It sounds to be a paradox, but to look in the mirror and practice smiling in a more genuine way. A smile doesn't cost anything. It's a great way to just not only improve your appearance, it takes literally a third of the amount of muscles to smile as it does to frown. But also, there's actually a feedback loop neurologically and biochemically. So what happens when we smile, it actually is triggering a lot of our feel-good neurotransmitters in our brain. So what happens is, it's true that we smile when we feel good, but it is also true that when we smile, we engender good feelings. So I tell people, and they'll say, Dr. DiMaria, I don't feel like smiling today. My clients tell me this a lot, and particularly my yoga students, because I'm always saying, okay, let's smile. Let's boost our smile quota of the day. So we're going to release and smile as we breathe in and breathe out. And they'll say, Dr. DiMaria, I don't feel like smiling. And that's when I say, that's the most important time to smile. Because it's almost like it's a way of taking care of ourselves. So it's actually when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling, especially, let's say I'm just walking, doing my mindfulness walk, and I'm feeling a little bit down or just overwhelmed or tired, I do this little, I think of it as a Buddha smile or a Mona Lisa smile. It's kind of, you can think of it as like, let's say you just thought of somebody, who makes you smile, or somebody who maybe told you something humorous, and you kind of smile, inwardly to yourself. And it's amazing, like let's say you're feeling a little lonely, just put that smiling to your own heart, kind of like if you were a loving parent to yourself or a loving friend, and you kind of just, smile to your own heart. It's a way of self-care. It's a self-nurturing process of learning to smile inwardly, particularly when you're not feeling like smiling. And it's a really beautiful practice, and it's part of finding peace within the body. Now when I feel pain in my body, I actually try to smile to that part of my body. It's so strange that here we are, let's say you stub your toe. The first thing you go, oh crap, you damn toe, there you are doing that to me. Like, what are you talking about? Your toe didn't do anything. The very moment your toe is like needing some tender, loving care, you're being angry at yourself. So it's like, when you catch yourself, don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up, but it's like, oh, my little toe, I'm so sorry, I just bruised your toe. So it's like self-care, self-nurturance, self-love. And one of the things we do, when we love someone is we smile. We give a sense of nurturing and a sense of kindness. So the smile we're talking about is bringing kindness to your body, bringing kindness to your present moment experience, and smiling inwardly to yourself. So I really hope you'll begin to boost your smile quota. I would love to see you begin to smile 300 to 400 times a day. If you did that one thing, you're going to experience a lot of peace within all day. So God bless you, be well, and smile today. Namaste.